Welcome to the Automobili Curato channel. I'm Jonas, and as a hobby I do a little bit of car sales. I count as my speciality more of a hobby specialty car sales outside from Estonia. That's the reason why you're seeing this video. This video is to support the sale of this car, and this car is today in front of us 2015 Mercedes AMG A45 AMG 4MATIC. That's how it's written up at the home page of Estonian Transportation Agency. Engine is a 2-liter turbo engine with an automatic gearbox and 4-wheel drive, and this particular vehicle has covered about 112,000 kilometers this far in its lifetime. But without further ado, let's go and take a closer look at the car. First thing I will note is that as per the owner, this car has some sort of a little bit of an aero package. As you can see, there's these front canards and the rear wing. I'm not an expert on these A35, 45 models, but the owner said that this is a bit of an addition. But that having been said, let's take a little bit of a closer look at the cosmetical condition of the car. It's been used, so this is not a garage kept car. You can see there's marks of usage here and there. There's a little bit of some sort of silicone or something on the car there. You can see that there's a bit of a scrape here. And I guess if I would go closer, we would find a few more on the bonnet. Let me think, what else? A bit of a rock chip here, which is kind of normal because in Estonia they put rocks on the road against winter slipperiness, and that's why these kind of marks on cars in Estonia are normal. There's 2 chips on the front windshield here. But overall, I hope as the video picture does it justice, it's in a sort of a fair nick, I would say. Definitely not ideal, but it's not all bad either. You can see a few lines on the roof here, scratches. I don't know how deep these are. These seem to be shallow, maybe could be polished, but they are currently present on the car. If we walk around to the back here, I remember there was a little bit of a mark here, so a little bit of a rust mark. If we go further along the car, we can find a few more on this side. There's a mark here. A mark here. Yeah, you can like find these blemishes all over the car, but as you walk further away from the car, these aren't that noticeable. Overall, it's not in a bad condition at all. Before we jump inside, currently one of the roof rack covers is missing here too. I just remembered it, noticed it whilst I was walking to check the car out from the inside. But that being said, let's go and check the car out from the inside. From the inside, these seats should be a sportier version of the seats offered to this car. So the owner pointed that out to me. But other than that, you know, I guess it's fairly regular for a sport car from this age. AMG door sill, which lights up in the dark. What do you call this steering wheel shape? I'm just gonna call it square sporty steering wheel for the sake of simplicity, with flappy paddles. And if we look at the wear and tear from the inside, I noticed that this seat is sort of worn, but the seats have strong bolstering compared to like regular car seats, so it's not surprising that this side would wear. It's normal on any bucket seat. If I start thinking back about the cars I've had, so on bucket seats that kind of wear is normal. The steering wheel shows a few signs of, you know, normal usage, but other than that, the car is pretty in a pretty good condition from the inside. We just take a look at everything quickly. Now from the back, there's not much to see here. This being a little sports car, you have your electric seats, you have your AMG you have your AMG floor mats, and you have your red seat belts. But other than that, the only thing I noticed is that it has ISOFIX, or however you say it with an English intonation, at the back. But fairly simple car from the rear. But what do you need with a little sports car like this? From the trunk or the boot, same story continues as with the rear seats. There's not much to see here. A tiny cute little boot. That's my filming gear and my jacket, but other than that, no abnormal wear or tear in the boot. So let's check out the car from under the bonnet. From under the bonnet, your normal used car, somewhat dirty, but nothing out of the ordinary or extraordinary. I'm just trying to give you a little glimpse of what I can show you here. The turbo here in the front. I remember my Evo 4 had a similar turbo shield somewhere that says hot and has this hand and cross over the hand on it, but yeah, it's irrelevant to this car. But yeah, just trying to show you a bit of the engine bay. And the engine is apparently produced by Thomas Link. But that being shown, this was a little bit of a walk around the car, and now, as always, let's go and do a little test drive too. So let's jump in the car and drive. Okay, a little test drive too. I was just checking out my friends. There's a little karting track near the city where we live, and they're out driving here. But obviously this is not my car. I wasn't driving this car there. I was driving my own car in my previous video on the track there, but this car currently has all season tires on, and from experience these are no good. So even if I would really want to in this current setup, I wouldn't. But yeah, a little test drive. So first emotion when I sat in this car from my regular car, which is a 2011 F11 BMW 5 Series, is that everything here is very compact, packed in. Obviously, partially it's my own problem because I'm kind of tall, and that's kind of by default. If I sit in a sporty car, that I don't have much space there. So yeah, like all the visibility and everything felt limited. But other than that, this particular car drives as it should, I guess. Nice and straight. It brakes, it accelerates, it decelerates. Yep. I'm just a little bit freezing up here. I just made a video in Estonian. It was more free-flowing. Now I hit a little bit of a stump here with my trail of thought. But let's turn around here, and I'll make a gentle acceleration too with the car, just to kind of demonstrate the aspect that it works as it should. Let's go to manual too. Yeah, now it's manual mode. Not gonna lie, from the outside, as from the perspective of an onlooker, not a big fan of burbles, not a big fan of pops and bangs. But if you just, you know, as I sat in this car yesterday when I first drove it, it's kind of cute, I must admit, you know. Would I want it with me all the time, driving everywhere, every time I let it off the gas and it burbles? No, but since, you know, I'm just doing a little test drive of this car, it's kind of cute, not gonna lie. Public road, let's take it easy. But yeah, I mean, I do like cars, that's why I'm doing this. I'm not a car salesman, I do this because I like cars. And from that aspect, you know, it really hits a spot in your heart. But overall, yeah, I don't like listening to it when you're like outside and the car is just, you know, driving slowly somewhere. I'm not a big fan, to be honest. But that's my problem. That's nothing about this car really. But as you can see, yeah, it drives as it should. Funny thing about modern cars is that like the automatic modes tend to hold the rev so low. So this car constantly on comfort mode has revs under 2000 RPM, but you can feel that the engine is not that power band there. So I don't understand why are these automatic modes programmed so. It doesn't even, from the perspective of somebody who's not an engineer, it doesn't even feel viable that it would have a clean burn that way. Yeah, super cool. It's 70 here, by the way, but and I'm doing 80 indicated, but whatever, you know, sporty guy doing sporty things. Yeah, so I don't understand. Again, like okay, now it's on manual mode. It was all me, but it drives happily at 1,500 RPMs. Even though I would assume that it's more economical at 2,000. But yeah, I mean, this car feels sporty, I guess. For the lack of any better terms, I mean, how else should I call it? Like I said, sitting in here from like a regular road car, mind you, it's a BMW, so they are a bit sportier, maybe even in like normal guys than, you know, your average car. This felt like very stiff and very firm, and due to my history of cars, it's like kind of like how would I put it? It's in my bones all the time, you know. It's a familiar feeling because all my first cars have been sporty. So yeah, sitting in a sporty car, it's a welcoming feeling. Let's see. I'm gonna give it a little bit of beans here. Nothing too special or much, I guess, because it has like all seasons tires on. And the owner noted that no full coverage, so obviously I don't want to crash here. And there's a crazy Citroën Berlingo guy who may want to crash in me themselves, so let's avoid it. Just a little bit, you know, more. Oh yeah, I have to shift myself. But, you know, not my property, let's take it easy. I guess you've seen somewhat enough to this point. The car feels and drives as it should. Just to have to make sure, like I said, with the limited visibility, I've had experiences with I had a FN2 Type R Civic, and these angles here are kind of blind spots. And then sometimes when you're in a settlement, whatever it is, a city or town, where you have pedestrians, then people at road pedestrian crossings may be hidden behind this pillar here, which is obviously not a good situation. So yeah, gotta, especially if you haven't paid attention and then something can be behind here, you have to really pay attention, you know. That's from experience. Luckily this far, yeah, I don't want to say it on video. what I wanted to say is I've never hit a pedestrian yet, but this is kind of like jinxing myself. I don't want to do it. I've been fortunate enough not to have been in that situation, but I have been close, and that's due to this small compact car and the A-pillar positioning. It's an experience that I've had, and you know, situation in which I don't want to be in myself. I don't know, it like beeped something before to me too, but I don't know why it do that. It showed me like a red light here, so I have no idea. I'll just go to comfort. Maybe it is happier that way. But I guess you saw the car. As you can see, no niggle squeaks from the drivetrain or anything from the driveline. You saw the car. I rambled, which I tend to do in these videos somewhat, but I guess it's sort of kind of like to fill the air. It's kind of necessary. Otherwise, you can obviously give me feedback. I can be quiet and we can just drive, and I'm not saying anything. Not a problem. I don't consider myself some sort of a personality, or the spiel that I'm giving here very worthwhile. I'm just trying to, you know, make this somewhat entertaining, mildly, you know, just to fill the air. So I can obviously do these test drives completely quiet, but I guess I'm gonna sign out from this one here. I managed to show a bit of the car to you. So I was Jonas. This is Mercedes AMG A45 AMG 4MATIC. It's for sale. If you're interested, let me know. Happy to help, ask questions. I can send extra video and everything, whatever you may need to see more specifically something about this car, whatever you have in mind. But anyway, thanks for watching. Peace, and let me know if you're interested in this car. Bye.